as all of you know, our aim is to educate communities, educate children, educate parents, educate teachers, because the main problem with this massive problem about child abuse that we have in our world today is that people don't talk about it. And we know that Pastor Rose, who's taken it greatly into her community, we know the effect that it can have when we do start talking and people do start sharing and lives do get changed. So that's what we want to do with Girls Empowerment. We want to change communities. We want to make sure that people understand that the harm that child abuse can do, that, you know, that children that are abused have significantly more problems in their life than children that are not abused. A lot of child sexual abuse starts at a very young age, between 3 and 9. And then, so, you know, I get people saying, well, we do this in high school. We teach all of this in high school. And it's like, but it's too late. It's too late for so many children because the abuse has already occurred way beyond that, you know. So our whole ethos is to teach children as young as possible, from the age of 3, about their bodies. And if we could teach children to become empowered about their bodies, and also that they can speak up to their parents, to their teachers, to people that they trust around in their circumstances, we can stop a lot of this abuse, or we can put a stop to any abuse that has started already by opening the lines of conversation. And we've got to be careful, because when you start saying we're going to teach about child abuse prevention, people switch off. You know, it's like, this doesn't happen in my community. I don't know anyone that's been abused, and they close. So we need to approach it a different way. And by saying we want to empower children, we want to give them body empowerment. And we're teaching exactly the same thing, but what we're doing is approaching it a slightly different way to make it more digestible to communities. We want to make people understand that, you know, letting children have a say over their body, whether people tickle them, you know, and they say, I don't want to be tickled, that they have a right to say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit on that person's lap. I don't want to kiss that person. We have a right to learn that from a young age, so that we're not, by the time kids get to be teenagers and they start with relationships, they have that empowerment and they can say, no, I don't want you to do that to me, you know, or yes, I do want to do that. But we've got to teach them that they have the power to say yes or say no. So I want to share with you something, and this is the first time that it's being shared with anybody. And it is our new, well, it's exactly the same program, the My Body is My Body program, but it is for 3 to 5-year-olds. So we are teaching the program to a lot younger audience. I'm just trying to find it on my desktop. Sorry. There it is. I shall just open it. See if that comes up so I can share it. Because I want to show you that, you know, we've got to adapt things to make them digestible. Can you see that on the desktop? It's called Little Learners. Okay, so yes, this is our new book. This will be for 3 to 5-year-olds, and it's introduced by Georgie the Bear and Melody the Butterfly. So we're targeting these very young children, and we've made it very simple about body parts And then we have private parts, and private parts covered by your swimsuit, and we're all different, and that's what makes us special. So, and then it's very much like the My Body is My Body program, but as I say, just simplified for little ones so that teachers or parents can read this to them, and they can learn about, yes, mom and dad or my carer will have to bathe me when I'm little, but I'll learn to wash my own body. If you've got some sore private parts, the doctor might have to look at you, or your carer might have to put medicine there. But apart from that, it's your body, and only you have the power to say, no, I don't want that to happen. So again, we're teaching children from a really, really young age to sing and to learn and be empowered about their bodies. So we've changed the words slightly of the My Body song. Instead of saying no one has a right to hurt you, we're saying nobody should hurt me, because it's just a little bit more simplified. We've got a I Am Special song, so we want to show children to be brave, strong, and confident. But as I say, it's basically the same as the My Body's program, which you will have all seen, but simplified, and also with fun characters, so that they can understand that Georgie the bear and Melody the butterfly are teaching them how to be safe. So that will be coming out within the next month. And these can also go to nursery schools. They can go to early education schools. If your schools have got kindergarten, these will be perfect to introduce the program, to introduce the concept, and also introduce the concept of parents talking to their children, about feeling worried or sad or confused or uncomfortable. And, these are the people we can talk to and we can get help from. So the only thing that I've changed that's not part of the My Body's My Body program is having a little lullaby at the end of it, just so that a lot of times in the nursery schools they have rest time. So we just do a little Sweet Dreams song so that everybody can rest and have a nap at the end of the program. But I think it's a lot more fun for the kids, and I hope that you'll find it helpful to share that. Before I carry on, are there any other questions about what the new program? No. Okay, so the songs are very much the same songs, but they are shortened for the kids. So most of them are just over a minute long. So they're easy to learn and they're easy to digest. Now, for those of you who haven't been with us for the whole program, the reason we use music is because children absorb the music and the lesson much more beneficially than if you're just talking to them, because kids remember songs. And I always say, you will all know songs that you learned as a child, and you will still know the words. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to empower children with those words so that they stay in their minds as they grow up. This is my body. No one has a right to hurt me. And if I have a problem, I can tell somebody. So very simple words. And Nandini, you were saying that some of the schools are already teaching these kind of things, but you can share with them our resources and our songs, because they're really good for reinforcing the messages that the children are already learning.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really important that we enforce these messages as much as possible throughout. And I always say, if you've got a program and you're using and it's working, integrate our songs in. You don't have to teach our program, but it works with most of the programs that are out there anyway, because we're teaching the same sort of thing. It's just that the music makes it more digestible for the parents, for the teachers, and for the children. They do consume this data a lot better because it's visual and because it's fun. It's proven that if you talk to a child, it's only using one part of the brain. If you get them to stand up and you get them to sing, it uses the whole brain, and that's why it stays with them so much more. Aniki, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. With the new program, remember when we were introduced to My Body is My Body, we went through lessons. So are we still going to be required to do lessons, or are we just going to be able to dive straight into it without doing lessons? That's my question.
The lessons would be the same. Yeah, it's the same program. So
okay.
you'll be able to dive straight into this one.
Okay.
There is. I'll tell you about something else in a minute. Nandini, sorry, did you have a question?
All right.
Now this new thing that is coming out, how do we get to use it?
Okay, so it'll be available to download on the website, and then there will be QR codes on each song page where you can look at the QR code, and you'll be able to get the song on YouTube. I will also have a page on the website where the YouTube videos will be on, so you can actually just click on the video. So, but as soon as I have it, I will share it with everybody. And again, it'll be a free resource, like all our resources are. And then we will start translating into different languages, like we do with the My Body is My Body program. Somebody says they're struggling to log in. Who's struggling to log in? You need to register. Okay. Sorry, I'm just doing that. So the one other thing that we're going to do, because we find that this is a big problem, is we're doing a safeguarding course for children. Now this will be for 7 to 14-year-olds, because children don't really understand what safeguarding is. We have parent programs and teacher programs for safeguarding, but we don't really explain to children what safeguarding is. So we thought we'll just do a really simple question, a really simple course. Sorry, people are texting me at the same time. A really simple course about safeguarding and what it is and what we should do. And it explains to children about how to look around you and see safe situations and see if something's going on with a friend. And we explain that safeguarding is guarding safely. We want to guard ourselves safely, but we also want to make sure that our friends are safe. And so it's about community, it's about school, it's about learning what we need to look for. But again, not in massive detail. I don't ever want to take away innocence away from children, but there's a lot that we can teach children on how to be safe without taking their innocence away. So that course will be out by the end of the year, and that course can be shared with children. Because we have a couple of courses on our website already for children. We have our digital explorers, which is if anybody's introducing a child to the phone, how to keep safe. What is the internet? What is a safe password? How do we do a safe password? You know, so it's got all sorts of good information on there for kids if they're going onto the internet. And also just sending emails and who to talk to and who not to talk to. And again, we've got to have these conversations with children because our kids are so vulnerable on the internet. So are there any questions before? Because I wanted to explain and look at how do we disseminate this information in our communities, because that's the big thing that we need to do. You know, it's all right. Okay, we've got this girls empowerment program, and you know it's really good and it works. But what do we do with it? That's the question. How do we get it out there? Who do we speak to? So before I start that, are there any questions on what we've been talking about so far? No, we're okay. Okay, so where do we start? We've got a program. Now, a lot of times we've just gone into schools. People have learned the program and then they get permission to go into the schools. Now, our ambassadors are always told, you've got to get permission from the school, and there is never any one-to-one teaching. Our ambassadors are not allowed to be alone with children. It's got to be in a classroom environment with the school involved, with another teacher involved. We don't ever want to have any problems with people taking advantage of children. So our ambassadors they sign a document to say that they will never do one-to-one teaching, and they will always get permission to take it into the classrooms. So Rotary has got an amazing network of schools that they work with. So one is learn the program, get all the information. We've got the teaching tutorials, which you can download from our website. If you go onto our resources, there's a section called AAA Teachers. I put it under AAA so that it goes right to the beginning, and it's teachers' resources. And there's the lesson plans, there's all sorts of documents that you can download for the teachers. And share those with them, show them the tutorials, show them that it's all written out for them. They don't have to do lesson plans to do this program. It's really easy. There's activities for the kids that they can use. So, as I say, one is look at places like schools that you're already working with and say, look, this is a great program. Try it in your classroom, or I'll come and do a presentation for your teachers, for your parents, whoever. I do have presentations that I can share with you. If you want your name on the presentation and your picture, I'll put that on there, and then I'll give you the PowerPoint presentation. So let me know if you want one, and I will give them to you, and you can take that out. You want one, Nandini? Okay, I'll do that for you. Just message me in the group, and then I'll have the names and people that want one. It doesn't take me a long time to get them all ready, and as I say, they're all done, and it just shows you what the My Body is My Body program is. So it's probably about a 20-minute presentation, so it's not going to take you 2 hours to present it. And then if people are interested, they can go onto the website and they can access everything themselves. The other way that Rotary can do it is to get their clubs involved. What we've done around here is our clubs have sponsored our workbooks into the schools. So I can give you access to the printed material. You can actually order them directly from the manufacturer into the schools. We don't need to be involved. because we don't make any money from any of this. So the Rotary clubs can do that, do the teacher lesson plans and some children's workbooks and some posters for the kids, and introduce it to the school and do it that way. The other way is, like Ralph was saying, he belongs to the Girl Scouts. Now, groups like that are great to educate. When I was in the States, I used to do all the 4-H clubs, and I did do one of the Girl Scouts clubs in Virginia, and they loved it. I've still actually got the letter from them to say how powerful they thought it was. And so any kind of group like that works with children, it's so important to just, because it's fun, you can take it in, play the songs, get the kids to start singing, and then give them a really good message to go along with the songs that you're playing. So like I say, there's groups. And the other way to introduce it is through PTAs. I work a lot with PTAs and parents groups, because if you've got them behind you with this, then they approve it for the schools. So the PTAs are powerful. And by educating the parents, they then take it home and teach the kids again. So there's so many ways that we can take this into places. And we've got different groups working through Rotary. Girls Empowerment have just signed an MOU with the ICCs, which are the intercountry committees. And through the ICCs, I'm working with so many countries: Hungary, Romania, Italy, Portugal, and there'll be loads more. And then through the Rotary, through the young Rotarians, we're doing quite a lot in India at Nandini, down in the south area of India. We've got loads of young Rotarians working with us. And also the other places to introduce it to, where I found it successful, is I do a lot of training to social workers. So in the universities, I do it all online, but social workers are a great way to get the program out into the communities again, because they are dealing with difficult situations, parents, families, and sort of children that are working or living in difficult situations. So there's many outlets for us to work through. But I think the biggest thing is to get your clubs behind it, so that you're not the only person trying to take it out there. We need clubs to get involved. And as I say, if they can sponsor a school or a nursery school and take some of the books, or even just one teacher lesson plan, one children's workbook for each, it'll just introduce the program to them, and then they might take that up. And then people like Pastor Rose, she just goes out onto the streets a lot of the time, and she just collects all the kids and she teaches them the songs, and they talk and they learn. And it just makes an amazing difference to what we're trying to do to these children, and how to save them. I mean, our South African team is a great example of what can be done and the difference that can be made. They've just in the past 3-4 weeks, because they've been all made aware, they stopped 23 kids from being trafficked. So they're doing amazing work. And so Pastor Rose and Zama and all of you in Polokwane, well done. We're proud of you. So have anybody got any suggestions on something I might have missed, something that we're not doing that could be done, that could make a difference in our communities? Pastor Rose.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing great. I really need more time to kind of learn about all the amount of information that you have and you are producing. We are having a symposium in Barcelona on October 11th, which is the International Day of Girls' Day. And we now are working towards it. And right now I don't have suggestions because I still need to absorb a lot of the information.
Absolutely.
But, you know, hopefully in the next meeting we have with the RAG4GE, you know, I will have more suggestions. But thank you very much for all your work. And I think you're doing great. And hopefully I'll be of more help in future occasions, okay?
Thank you so much. I think that's it. It's getting your head around the program and understanding how it works, and then looking as to how it can be implemented, because how you implement it in your country will be different to how somebody else implements it, because you all know what works within your communities, you know. So but I think we can learn from each other, and we can we can learn new things and new ways to implement it through sharing. And
Definitely.
Thank you.
Well, I also wanted to say quickly that before the RAG4GE Action Group, our club was part of a girls empowerment program that involved 5 districts, 3 in Spain and 2 in Portugal. And this kind of got a bit stopped for different reasons, but we are going to suggest that, you know, we all get information of the RAG4GE, My Body is My Body, all the work you're doing, and kind of share it together, and also come back to you with more ideas. So yes, we, you know, here also I'm taking lots of notes and try to gather information and share it with our different clubs in Spain, and possibly too in Portugal.
Thank you, Rosa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Aniki, did you have something? Aniki.
Yes, I do. The other day I mentioned in the group that as much as I'm not as much as I'm out there like Sister Rose, but I make sure that the young people that I work with at the school, I ask them to visit their My Body's My Body website. And I'm also thinking collaboration with other groups that are working with kids. Like I've just attended a 4-day course in Rosebank. It was done by the Butterfly Art Project. They are in Cape Town. They are dealing with kids from troubled homes. They are dealing with kids who are traumatized.
Aniki, we'll come back to you in a minute. I think you've frozen. Pastor Rose, did you have something to say?
Yes, I was saying, just to add on what you have been presenting on again, I went to visit our library, and I was just there for another issue. And whilst I was just moving within the library, I saw Kiddies Corner in the library. And the libraries are so willing to accept our books. So we also need to start putting books in different libraries. And now I checked within our city, we have 4 libraries, and the kids after school, they visit libraries for research. And there's also adults that are doing research on books, and if we put our books there, they can also be helpful. Like I see the new content you just put together. So I was saying now it's high time that we need to take books to the library and also collaborate with the libraries that whenever they have book fairs, they should invite us to read out those books to them as the My Body is My Body ambassadors, to make it more clearer. So that is another venture we can venture into.
That sounds
Taking
good.
to the libraries.
And that won't cost a lot to put a few books in the libraries. You know, we could get the Rotary clubs to help us with those, because I mean, putting books into 4 libraries is not going to cost a fortune, you know.
And let me say something there, Chrissy. I checked the cost part of it. Ne?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, books in the library, you don't dish out to people for keep. They come and hire a book in the library for a certain period, and they return it back to the library. So I think a way to go, even if it's not more books, but maybe you put, say, 5 books or 10 books in one library, so that if there's, people, someone has taken a book, there's still another book as well, still on the shelf.
Yeah.
Just that, yes. So it's another way to go. Thank you.
I think that's a really good idea. Really good idea at the libraries, and we could reach a lot of children for that. Is Anaki back? Anaki, you froze, so we moved on. Anaki?
Hello.
Sorry,
Hello.
you froze, so we changed.
Yeah, I sent a message. I sent a message on the group, but my message was just we collaborate with groups that work with children. Like I just said, I've just finished a 4-day course that was given by the Butterfly Arts Project. They deal with kids, and the lesson for the week was trauma. We were dealing with trauma. So if you collaborate with such groups that are already working with kids, I think that would be very great. So yeah, that was my message, but I had already sent a message on the group. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, I think that's great. I think anyone that works with children, you know, we have an amazing network of people through Rotary, and I agree, Anaki, that you know, just sharing the message. I mean, all the stuff's free, so what's not to try? You know, I mean, if people can have a look at it and see if they like it and introduce it to the kids that they're working with, then that's fantastic, you know. But we do have a great opportunity here with our Girls Empowerment RAG to share this worldwide. And because we've got 35 languages already, and the languages are growing as we go, we're working with Compassion International as well, and they've done a few languages for us, about 4 languages. And so as they go into new areas, they like to take this program with them and they translate it for us. So we're getting there with different languages. I mean, we won't have every language that's available in the world, but we'll be able to reach a lot of children through the 35 languages that we've already got. But I think, yes, I think through different organizations, through the libraries, through any kind of anybody that works with children, you know, psychiatrists. I've got a lady who had the program when I lived in the United States, and I did it on video at that time. And she contacted me a couple of years ago and said, oh, she says, I'm so glad that I found your stuff on YouTube because my video has worn out. And she uses it, she uses the songs for the kids that come in where she has problems talking to them. And she plays them the songs and makes them feel at ease before they start any of their therapy. So it can be used in so many different ways, this program. And I think we just have to find the best ways to work with our communities to share it, to make a difference. Because if we can bring that 1 billion children a year that are being abused, if we can bring those figures down anything at all, then we're doing a good job. Anybody else got any other suggestions? I will, if you want a presentation, please put your name in the Girls Empowerment RAG, and I will get you a presentation off this week. As I say, I think it's probably about 16 slides, and it just explains the program. And I've also got a script that goes along with it. You can change that and adjust it how you want, but it'll give you the outline of what to say in the presentation, and that way you've got something to show people, you know, whether it's online or whether you're doing an actual presentation in person. It'll just help, rather than trying to explain the program without any information behind you. Yeah, I think that's about me. I don't know if you want me to put any links on the website, on the Girls Empowerment RAG, just to show you what's on the website. I mean, we've got newsletters, we've got all our resources, we've got all the different languages, we've got our ambassador section. There's what else on there? There's quite a few different things, so I can put a few links on the RAG.
Yes, I think this will be very helpful. Thank you.
I'll do that as soon as we finish this. I would put it here in the chat, but I think if I put it on the actual RAG, the WhatsApp, then you've got access to it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so Ralph, as I think you are only male today, if you got any feedback?
No, I saw somebody I thought pop up and then went away at one point, and that might have been a male. I thought his name was Harry something, and for a minute, but then he disappeared. But
probably saw all of us and thought.
Yeah, I don't have any specific information. I really like the idea of the concept of putting it into the library.
I do.
That was a great idea. I've made a note about that, and we'll take that back to our district committee that we're trying to get started. We're trying to charter a district committee for girls' empowerment and help in sharing educational resources. So I
think that works in perfectly. And then, as I say, I can either give you the files to take to the printer, or I believe the printer that I use also has an American outlet as well.
Okay.
So
great.
I'll give you the details. Of course, the more books you print, the cheaper that it is. Right. I think the books that I normally buy about 1,000 books at a time, and I think they're just over £1. So they're not expensive. But everything is it's on the printer's website, because basically you just go onto their website, order the books, and get them delivered to where you want them delivered to. So
yeah, we have an organization that works in our communities here called Books for Keeps, that actually provides books for children. At the end of the school year, they give them books to take home for the summer. And they donate books, and if we donated quantities of books to that organization, potentially to be shared through the elementary schools for second graders, and so it's right in a target age group, and I think that might be a beneficial way of sharing the information as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's what I think we need to do, is have a look at all of these concepts And because there are ways of disseminating this information that will work and will reach the kids and reach the parents, because if the kid brings the book home, obviously the parents are going to have a look as well. And I think that that'll be good as well. Nancy, I see you're here. Nancy Abdul Hadi, are you?
Yes, hi everyone.
Hi, and Nancy. I just wondered if you got any ideas, because you've been working. Nancy is on our board of directors, and would you like to just introduce yourself, Nancy, to everyone, and just explain why you're so important, especially in Africa?
Sorry, I'm trying to unmute and I was struggling. Sorry.
No problem, love.
Thank you so much. No, thank you so much. It's so great to be with all of you. I'm so excited to see how the My Body's My Body program has grown so much throughout the years, seeing the impact it's had on so many people's lives, definitely around the world. And definitely I've seen it firsthand in Africa. I've seen it in Egypt. It's incredible because it's so timely. I'm constantly following the news, what's going on and seeing how even the country, government is talking about how we need more programs to educate the children, to help all about prevention and making sure that the kids have the skills and the parents have the skills to be able to prevent, such. Okay, sorry, that's my grandchildren in the background. Apologies.
Okay.
I'm actually using them, piloting a lot of stuff on them. So, but it's fantastic. It's very important because again, I can speak from someone who has feet in the U.S. and feet in the Middle East because I'm American, but also my parents are Egyptian. So I know what makes this program so amazing is that it fits within the cultures, the local cultures, in terms of not being presenting too much information that in a way that would tamper with the children's innocence. And this is something that it's been very hard in general. It's a taboo topic in many countries because of that. How do you approach it in a delicate way without compromising the child's innocence? So what is so fantastic about My Body is My Body is it fits so well in so many of these what you would consider more conservative cultures. And at the same time, the children love it. I mean, seeing the program, doing it in 7 or 8 governorates in Egypt, and seeing how the children from the different regions, how they take this program, depending on their age group, each child, uses the program in a different way. But it's just so fantastic because the kids love it. The parents are so amazed. The teachers, everybody. And so I'm excited to be part of this group. I'm so excited to see that every day Chrissy is reinventing and coming up with even more creative ideas, things that fit within all the new trends and everything that's happening in the world. So I look forward to a lot more impact and a lot more, innovation. And this is why it's so exciting to be part of it. I'm so excited that you are all considering already part of My Body's My Body. You will not regret it over the years when you see the impact and how many children's lives were saved. You will really realize how important this program is. Thank you, and sorry for going off in my long-winded response.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. Well, to be quite honest, it's a Saturday, and I don't want to keep you all. But if anybody wants a presentation, please put your name in the Girls Empowerment RAG. Or contact me personally. I will gladly put a presentation together for you and get that out to you. And again, if you want to ask me anything, my number is in the RAG. So please just shout out if you've got any questions, if you need anything, if you can't find something, and I will put some I'll put some links in the Girls Empowerment there for you. And I think next time, again, let's share. Let's see if anything is happening. Let's see how our ideas are working and if we've progressed in any way. Yes, Nandini, you on mute? You're on mute, Nandini. Unmute you.
So sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. To use your presentation, do we have to, you said that when we go into the classrooms, we need to have a teacher present. Obviously, the school will also want its own people to be present, but do we have to sign a document with you?
No, it's just that basically when you become an ambassador, it says that the My Body is My Body program does not give you permission to go into the schools. You have to get permission from the school. But you as a teacher are already in the schools and you are a qualified teacher. So, but if you go into another school, you would have to get permission to go into that school. You can't just you can't just go into a school and do a presentation.
Yes.
So we just say to everybody, you know, we've got to make sure that the children are safe. So we need permission from those schools. And then, as I say, we always say no one-to-one teaching, because for My Body is My Body. That is, I mean, you as a teacher can do whatever you're trained to do, but as far as the My Body is My Body program is, we don't allow one-to-one teaching for children that you don't know, because we want to keep children safe. So we're just making sure that we are, the safety of children is at the forefront of everything that we do. Okay, everybody, it's 3 minutes, so I'm not going to keep you any longer, but as I said, I'm here to help. I'm here for questions, and I would love to see what your clubs say, what your districts say, and see how we can move this forward for girls' empowerment, because I think over the next few years, we can make a significant difference in the lives of children. And I thank you all for joining us, and thank you for being interested in the program, and thank you for being interested in helping children to keep safe. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chrissy, for all your work. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. Okay, so I will see you all again in 2 months' time, and hopefully we will have achieved a little bit by then. But as I say, find me on WhatsApp and ask me anything that you need. I'm there to help. But thank you for your time this afternoon, and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a lovely
Thank you so
weekend.
much. Thank you.
Everyone, lovely
Thank you.
weekend.
Bye-bye. Bye.